Hello everyone and welcome to Discussing Dead, and in today's video, I know this is like a week late and I do apologise for that, I've completely ran out of time, but this is my review for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 9, otherwise entitled Adaptation, and if you have not seen this episode, make sure you have before you watch this review, as it will be filled with spoilers. We'll be here for you when you get back. So this is the mid-season premiere of The Walking Dead Season 9, the kickoff for Season 9B, and this has been quite a long wait. This has been quite a long wait over the break because, you know, Season 9 felt like it went for the mid-season finale a very long time ago, but I've been really looking forward to The Walking Dead returning. Obviously, the first episode I did of Discussing Dead was my review for the season finale, or mid-season finale of Season 9, because Season 9 of The Walking Dead has just been absolutely phenomenal in my eyes. As somebody who was really not a big fan of the show in Seasons 6, 7, 8, I was just not excited for Season 9, and then it just came around and just turned my opinion around and really won me back. So, you know, with the high quality and the high bar that they have set themselves, I was very excited to see where they're going to go with this season and also where they're going to go in the future. And I have to say, this episode was another great one for Season 9. So the first thing I want to talk about is the character of Lydia. Now, Lydia is introduced in this episode. Lydia is the daughter of Alpha, the leader of the Whisperers, and we see her get captured by Daryl and Michonne when out on a run, and they bring her back to the hilltop and put her in the jail cell next to Henry. Now, Lydia was someone I was very interested to see what they were going to do with her because she is obviously the daughter of Alpha. This is going to lead to Alpha's introduction. Now, I believe we're going to get introduced to Alpha in this week's episode, so, you know, I'll be checking that out. So that's going to be really awesome in this week's episode. But what I really liked is that Lydia is basically a straight-up liar. Like, she's really just lying through her teeth. She gets asked all these questions by Daryl, by Michonne, by Tara, and she just completely lies through her teeth about all of it. And I really like that because that is a scary, you know, that's quite a scary prospect, because to have someone who's just lying no matter what, that could be quite terrifying. So, you know, she's saying, you know, there's not many of us, or we're all dead, my mum's dead, then she says her mum's not dead, and it's just all these different lies that are coming out. It's incredibly consistent, and I'm interested to see how many of these are actually going to fall through, because that is going to be an interesting type of style for this character. Her relationship with Daryl seems very, very fractured. They don't get on at all. Daryl becomes very, very violent towards Lydia as the episode goes on, just because of pure frustration, because of her lying. It's just, he's just had enough of her and he doesn't want to deal with this. And it's quite frustrating on Daryl to try and get these answers, given the fact that, you know, Jesus has just died via this group and she's just not giving him any information. And obviously we do see the developing relationship between her and Henry. This is the kind of Lydia and Carl relationship from the comics, but swapping out Carl for Henry. This seems fine. I mean, they don't really go too much out there yet, but, you know, I feel like this is something we're going to see develop a lot more as the episodes go on, and Henry is basically going to drop everyone in the shit. Now, in the mid-season finale, we did see Negan escape his prison cell, and we see him get out of Alexandria, and I have to say, the relationship between Negan and Judith is so great. I love it. I like the fact that Negan, you know, even though he's just terrorized the Grimes family over the years, his relationship with Judith is just so sweet and innocent. But he's still, you know, he's still Negan, and I really enjoy all that. You know, the fact that Judith just has a gun on him and then lets him escape, and then he comes back, and then she actually shoots the bike he was on. I thought that was fantastic. Really great moment. Like, I really like Judith as a character. I really do. This older version of Judith, I think she's great. And the relationship between them was fantastic. And basically, Negan is set free by Judith. He basically, you know, she basically says to him, you know, if you go out there, if you come back, I will shoot you, but there's nothing out there for you. So we see Negan return to the sanctuary. That was a nice moment. We get to see him just kind of explore the basically decrepit remains of what is the sanctuary, and he basically comes to the conclusion after doing a massive tour around the local area that, yeah, there is nothing out there for him. There really isn't. So he does return to Alexandria, where he gets shot by Judith, which I really liked. But he is going to go back into the jail cell, apparently. We'll see how that goes. Maybe there'll be a change of heart. Is he going to talk to Michonne? We'll have to wait and see. But I don't know what they're going to do with Negan this season. I really don't. I feel like, you know, he has a big role to play in the Whisperer arc, but what to that extent they're going to follow from the comics, we'll have to wait and see. But what I really liked is that Negan does seem like a different man. He doesn't seem like the same Negan that we had in Season 7 and 8. This is a very different Negan, somebody who does seem changed. He seems reformed. He seems, you know, very much sane in a way, which is interesting because obviously Negan was such a mental character. But I'm very interested to see what they do with him because, like I say, he seems like a changed man in my eyes. And of course, we did have the death of Jesus in the last episode, and we do see him get buried here. That was a very sad moment. The whole of Hilltop mourning Jesus, and also this now makes Tara the leader of the Hilltop. I'm really happy to see this because Tara as a character is somebody who has just had no story really ever since she's been on the show. I mean, she had that brief kind of story with Oceanside, but then Oceanside just completely went away. So, Tara as a character has just needed something, and with that, she is now the leader of the Hilltop, and I think that's something that's going to benefit her story going forward, and I'm excited to see that they actually give Tara some stuff to do. Like, she actually gets some stuff to do in this episode with Michonne interrogating Lydia, so we do get to see that they are already pushing this story for her, which I'm happy to see. And kind of the big bombshell of this episode is that Rosita is now pregnant. So Rosita is pregnant with, I think it's Sadiq's baby. I might have missed that. I'm sure it was Sadiq's baby. But, this is something that we're going to have to wait and see where they go with this. Because obviously now she's kind of stuck in a love triangle with Sadiq being the father of the child, I believe. She's obviously in a relationship with Father Gabriel. And then also Eugene confesses his love for her in this episode. So now there's like this big thing going around of who's she gonna choose. Like, she has to choose between Gabriel, Sadiq, or Eugene. So, I don't know what they're going to do, and again, Rosita being pregnant is something that is a bit worrying, given the fact that her character could be heading for death at the end of the season, if they stick to the comics. Personally, this could be a wrench in the works. Like, this could be a sign that they're not going to kill off Rosita at the end of the season, but who knows? Like I say, I think this is very interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with it, and yeah, I mean, who knows? And I think Sadiq's the father. If I'm wrong with that, correct me in the comments. And we do get the end scene with Alpha in this episode as well. We do get to see Alpha take down Luke and Alden. It would have been nice if she would have said don't move, but I will let that slide. This was still a cool moment, and all of this, just Alpha showing up on the scene, getting the full introduction to Alpha was awesome. Alpha, I think, is going to be a fantastic villain for this show. We're going to have to wait and see, how terrifying and how her reign is really going to affect the new world, but I think just seeing Alpha in this, just her look is terrifying. The look of the Whisperers and the idea of the Whisperers is terrifying in its own right, but seeing how Alpha is really able just to control everything is awesome. Like I say, we're going to be properly introduced into Alpha in this week's episode, and we're going to see her backstory, Lydia's backstory, and I feel like that's something that's really going to get us involved in this character, and maybe even more invested in this character than we have been in previous Walking Dead villains in the past. Overall, though, I thought this was a great mid-season premiere for The Walking Dead Season 9. Like I say, it just continues to bring up the quality of The Walking Dead even more and more. I'm getting very excited for the rest of the season, where it's going to go, and then heading into Season 10 with the Whisperer War. I think this is something that's going to really benefit the show and just, keep the excitement levels there, keep the energy there, and I feel like we're really going to see the show just step up and get back to the quality it once was sort of in its first 3 to 4 seasons, and I'm really happy about that. And like I say, we're heading towards the Pike death, we're heading towards the fair, potentially Ezekiel leaving the show, so we've got a lot of really big moments coming up in Season 9 and equally Season 10, so I think that this is definitely a good start, and we're going to see where this is going to go for the rest of Season 9B.